So, what are we reading now, Llytic?
She's back.
This time I don't have my cousin to numb the pain.
So who all you motherfuckers remember not Zelda Queen, shit, Link's Queen?
Also known as the person who wrote the infamous My Inner Life.
You ever wanted to see Legend of Zelda characters enact water sports?
We always
You ever wanted to gaze into the maw of madness?
We are always trying to forget that one scene, and yet we always bring it up again. It's either you or Zane, and it's never me.
You've done other works. Many works. And we're looking at them, and we're looking at one of them today.
Right.
I'm Llytic. I'll be
Tom.
your host on this journey.
And I'm the victim, as usual.
Oh, yes. Welcome to What Are We Reading? And what we are reading is a little thing called The Shattered. I'll start us off. This is a rough copy of my Legend of Zelda Angus fanfic. I know it may sound a bit off the chain and critically challenged, but I'm working on a revision which is on another computer that is currently being stored away. Also, since this fic is a continuation of two other fics by Chaotic Serenity of fanfiction.net, I suggest reading the below fics before reading mine. Oh, no, it's Broken Wings. My bad. Okay. Which those below fics are The Shattered and Wise in Our Ways.
Author's note. This must be my 5th song fic. Well, again, this one is by Mariah Carey's song One Sweet Day, but I will have to admit that this one is a sad song fic. This one was inspired by Chaotic Serenity's story, Wise in Our Own Ways. Now, I was never the type to like any kind of fics based on suicide. This type of fic is so not like me, especially if you've read any of my other song fiction stories. But her Wise in Our Own Ways inspired me to write this song fic where everyone in Hyrule is mourning the loss of Link, the hero of time. The song One Sweet Day is a very beautiful and moving song, so I decided to do something like this only once. Though I cannot stand to see Link dead, I love him that much. This probably is the only time I'll write a fic based on such an emotional subject. Song fics are a thing?
Weep in despair, Tom. The end.
No, that would give you satisfaction, so...
Death by his own hand. Everyone in Hyrule has come to the effects of his devastating suicide. Wait. Now that he has finally been laid to rest, everyone tells just how they thought of Link, and what they really never got to tell him before his abrupt end of life.
Wait. Link committed suicide? I'm guessing...
I would too if I were married to this bent.
I was going to say, I'm guessing this is the Link from My Inner Life because he's been married to this woman. He finally became...
Miss Jenna Silverblade.
Yeah, he just, and her Phoenix Circles, he just became self-aware and was like, I'm a character. If I kill myself, the pain will end.
If I kill myself, I win.
Rated PG-13 for adult themes in Langu, blood content, and descriptions of Link's body.
Disclaimer. Okay, I know I do not own Link or any other Zelda peeps. They belong to Nintendo, though I do wish I owned Link. I'm just borrowing them for my wonderful song fics and stories. Enjoy.
Broken Wings.
So you're gonna keep going since that was the title?
Yeah, hold on. Fallen Warrior and Angel's Tears.
I still cannot believe it. He's really gone.
This has to be a nightmare. How can it not be? How?
Oh, by the goddesses, Link. Why? How could you?
I still don't believe that this is real.
And I'm still here all alone. Link, why? We're supposed to be married. You were supposed to be my king. I'm guessing that's Rudo.
Possibly.
He does have a weird habit of attracting fish women.
Yeah, just look at Badum. Okay. Link, how? Why did you do this? My heart just cannot take it anymore.
Our hero of time has fallen. Broken wings, never to fly again.
Paper Wings is a really good song by Rise Against.
Doesn't taste too good, though.
I wouldn't know. I've never tasted it.
I wouldn't suggest trying to eat a paper chicken.
I'm not going to question that. This is too much for me. Oh, goddesses, why? Why did he leave us so?
Oh, now you remember that there are actually multiple goddesses.
Yeah.
I thought a holder of the sacred Triforce wouldn't die like this. Oh, are you suicide shaming now?
Did he hate us that much? I mean, probably.
Based on the context clues we're given so far, this isn't the same timeline in which he marries Jenna Silverblade, so I can only imagine that he had a sudden moment in which he saw his life in that timeline and couldn't take the possibility of that happening.
So the question becomes, how did he commit suicide? Like, would he stab himself? Would he... No, I don't know.
It'd be like suddenly having a glimpse into a timeline in which you become Hitler.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be very good.
Only if Hitler was married to Jenna Silverblade. Shit. His sword, the Master Sword, now dank and dull. Its light is gone.
Okay, the light.
Shit, I wish the sound. I'm guessing the soundboard's gonna ask me to update it because I would God damn it!
You would do the smoke weed every day thing.
Yes.
I mean, the light on the Master Sword comes from the goddesses and the Triforce itself, not from Link. So
there's the fact that Link is a reincarnating hero.
That too. So if he died, he'd come back. So
should only be a minor setback.
Yeah.
You'll find a new one eventually.
Link, I thought you killed yourself. I got better.
I'm just imagining like a baby Link, like, oh shit, it didn't work.
Broken pieces, fallen wings.
That wait. Did it say broken pieces, fallen wings again? Oh, yes.
Yes.
No more walks through the forest.
No more sparkling blue eyes.
I'm guessing Rudo.
I mean, his his eyes were really only blue.
The fact that they're fixating on something that you typically fixate if you were considering them romantically.
Okay. Yeah, probably Rudo.
Rudo.
Fun fact, I have a character I've created who gets reincarnated over multiple timelines in multiverses, but no matter what body or lifestyle he gets reincarnated in, his eyes always remain the same. I just thought that was kind of a cool detail.
Anyway.
No more gentle words. Sorry, I lost my place for a sec.
No more brotherly talks.
That's what's his name? The Goron chief.
I guess so.
Yeah. No more shoulders to cry on.
No more horseback rides along the ocean.
That's Epona, probably, maybe.
The horse. Wait, I'll give you the thoughts of the horse.
I mean, Epona is just as much of a character as anyone else in the series.
I know, it just seems like so out of place. Like all these people mourning his death, and then let's see what the horse is thinking.
I just imagine like a horse just sitting over there, like sad and like tears just dripping down her muzzle.
It's just got like it's like that whole like invisible thumbs thing where it's like holding a handkerchief like on its hoof, and it's just like dabbing at its face, dabbing at its eyes.
Dang it, Llytic.
Next one's yours.
Did I say no more horseback rides?
I said no more horseback rides.
No more words of wisdom.
No more hugs, gentle kisses, sweetness of love.
No more nothing.
Bruno, stop it! Why did you do it, Link? Why?
Where do we go from here without you?
Just wait a generation or so.
He'll be back. He always comes back.
Like a fucking cockroach. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Rauru the Light Sage.
Yep, I think it's Rauru.
Sorrow.
In all my years, I never thought a dark day like this could ever befall Hyrule. But as the 7 of us with all of Hyrule's population gather here, the one question still tortures us all. Why did he take his own life in such a gruesome manner?
I mean, he killed himself in the fucking... shit, I forgot their name. Adam's family house.
Actually, why did he do it at all? Did you get all of that?
A gruesome manner. He killed himself in the Adams family house. Why would you do that?
I mean, there are plenty of sharp objects there. It'd be easier there.
As I stand here looking over the cross with his... What? Why would there be a cross?
I don't know. Like all the gravestones in the in any Legend of Zelda game I've seen are classic tombstone shape.
Yeah, and I can only imagine that it would probably be similar to Pokemon, in which it'd be more likely that he got cremated due to the whole influences of Japanese developers.
Yeah, possibly.
So he'd basically just be in like a little small container under the dirt with a tombstone on top. Maybe the Master Sword embedded in it.
That's what I was thinking. But even then, that has a shrine that it's supposed to go to.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense for the cross with his sword. The Master Sword lying on top. I still cannot believe that Link, our steeled warrior, the hero of time, is actually gone. Well, no, you see, if you wanted a steeled warrior, you should have gone with Metal Mario.
Or just put the iron boots on Link. That's also that's.
But
also
then he's not full metal.
Well, neither is Edward Elric, but he's still known as the Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, but most people think that his brother is.
True.
And his brother is Full Metal.
Yeah. I still ask myself what was so terrible in the young man's life for him to have taken his own life by his own. Oh, he did stab himself. Okay.
With the Master Sword.
I'm just imagining him doing like a Brutus in the Julius Caesar Shakespeare play. Just run on top of his sword, dead.
My immediate thought when you said Brutus was the way Caesar died. Just stab himself in the back.
Et tu, Brute.
Et tu, Linke.
No, just
somehow reached around and implanted the sword in his own spine.
No, he killed himself because Navi was getting too annoying.
Hey, listen!
I can't take it anymore! Or seppuku. That would also be a thing.
Seppuku.
Seppuku. Okay, yeah.
You said seppuku.
Isn't that how it's spelled, though?
That's how Sudoku is spelled. You know, the number game.
Okay, seppuku. Okay, that's how it's spelled.
It's seppuku. Oh God.
Sorry,
anyway.
my American is showing.
No, you got to be careful. The only language in which people get on your ass about that is Japanese.
Yeah, I will try to do better in the future.
French, they go to give less than half a shit. Japanese, however.
Well, I eventually got Yagami down, so
Eventually.
Yagami.
You know that light you gammy?
Light you gammy. You know, that real sadistic dude who's always laughing in the evil manner. Don't know why people didn't apprehend him sooner.
You know that Kyra?
Yeah, that Kyra. I don't know.
Honestly, that's just an even weirder thing to go off of. That's an even weirder spiral to go off of, considering the fact that Kira is just the katakana spelling of killer.
Yeah, well, I mean, may as well. Was the quest that had befallen him too much for him to handle? No. Was the title...
he just saw visions of his life with Jenna.
Was the title Hero of Time such an ugly name? No, that's an awesome name.
No, Hero of Space all the way. Suck it.
You're the Prince of Space. That's a totally different matter.
It's technically a hero of space.
Yeah, true. Did he despise his own destiny so much that he fired to blood? These questions I will never know the answers to. Perhaps it's because the answers are now too far out of reach. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you could find someone who can talk to ghosts.
Or you could just talk to the great Deku Tree. Apparently he's wise beyond anyone else. Like, oh wait, he's dead.
Yeah, they never got around to feeding Link Jr. to it. Even though I haven't gotten the answers to my nagging questions, I should actually consider what might have been the cause for all this pain and suffering. As wise as I believe myself to be, never had I considered that perhaps I did push the young man a little too hard, forcing everything upon his shoulders. And I mean everything. I mean, he had to carry that whole tree. So soon after his awakening, causing him to run headlong into something he wasn't ready for. That wall.
Perhaps I expected him to carry the weight of the world on his tender shoulders. Okay.
Did you add? Okay, you did not add the tender part.
Yeah, okay. So, no, I didn't add the tender part, and anyone of Link's strength would not have tender shoulders. He have shoulders like frickin' rocks.
I don't know. Have you seen the fucking dancer costume for Link? Fuck, I forgot what it was called.
Oh, yeah, he's a Hylian elf boy thing, so... Expected him...
Like the fucking... What the fuck was that outfit called?
The Gerudo outfit?
Was it Link Gerudo out? Oh, Gerudo outfit, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that man has some amazing looking shoulders.
Yeah. No. The Twilight Princess Link, he's more built, but then again, he's just naturally strong in that one.
Yeah, it also is the whole fact that we're talking about a reincarnating hero, so it's not like he's going to look the exact same every time. I mean, don't forget, there was that time he had pink hair.
Don't remind me of that time, please.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to cosplay this.
The Gerudo outfit?
Yes. Link in the Gerudo outfit.
Huh. Up to you, man.
That'd be an amazing outfit to cosplay.
Expected him to have all the answers to the plaguing problems that had befallen this land. But what was I to do? I don't know. Maybe try to help a little more than just
Tinder wouldn't be the right. I guess Tinder wouldn't be the right word for those shoulders.
Lithe would probably be a better fit there.
Yeah, maybe.
I was running out of time. My powers were failing, and the final seal protecting the sacred realm was breaking. But the young man became the hero of time, did he not? He was perfection at its finest. Steeled for warfare, his fate forged by blood and destiny, and chosen by the Triforce to carry its devastating power. He is a 12-year-old who was forced to turn 19 without going through adolescence.
Also, the Triforce of Courage's devastating power.
I mean, it's more like the Triforce of Power is the brute force. I can break things real good.
That I can understand being a devastating power.
The Triforce of Wisdom is like, I know lots of things, magic. But the Triforce of Courage was interesting because it was like, there wasn't anything special about him. He just was brave and was like, I'm going to do what no one else is willing to do.
Exactly.
But
I wouldn't call that a devastating power.
I mean, if it's like the Triforce Strike in his final smash in Smash Bros, then maybe, but like...
The ability to suplex someone so hard it destroys the planet you're on, now that's a devastating power. But...
yeah, well...
oh, God. Anyway, you were saying...
It's your turn.
Wait, you finished. Mm-hmm. However, also, this is the same person saying all of this.
Yeah, it's the owl dude.
However, as I stand here, unable to move, frozen like a petrified rock, my eyes struggle to hold back the welling tears. Woo! I cannot help but think about how, if we had just given Link the chance, we could have possibly saved his life. Possibly could have prevented this whole catastrophe from ever happening. But perhaps, perhaps the young man's pain was beyond our reach. Perhaps this was the decision fate. Was a decision fate had in store for him a long time ago.
I mean, I respect you for continuing to roll with it, but... Perhaps. I'm constantly wringing my mind on this entire situation, constantly tearing myself apart, saying that I could have done something.
I wish you would tear yourself apart so you'd shut up!
But how was I supposed to know? There's so many variables in this situation. How could I have possibly known it was coming? It's because I didn't see it coming, that's why. Nah! Really?
I was so caught up in the young man's duties that I didn't see he was suffering, that his heart was in pain. I was so blind to the fact that he was suffering that I remained ignorant to the truth and threw aside the fact that in reality he was dying both physically and mentally. Really? You were blind to the fact because you didn't realize it? Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, he's the Sage of Light. The light's probably blinding him a little bit. Now, because of that blinding ignorance, we are paying for it. Even though I'm standing here, the threat of Ganondorf attacking at any time still remains. His wicked evil still plagues this once beautiful land. Now there is no one to stop him. Spoilers! He wins in one of the timelines. You're able to push him back. His wicked evil still plagues this once beautiful land, and now there's no one to stop it. Because of this ill twist of fate. We are all living in a hellish nightmare from our own damned selfishness and morals. But what are we to do? We cannot turn back the hands of time, change fate, change the past. Obviously, you didn't get the right player. We are stuck in this dark time by the loss of our hero.
You know, it's amazing how someone can talk for so long but never actually say anything.
Yeah, no, this is actually just in line with his line.
Somehow this might actually be more painful to me than this.
Well, I mean, he's still maybe a little bit. I mean,
because at least that wasn't boring.
Yeah, well.
But that's irrelevant now. All that matters is Link, the hero of time, is gone. And the fact remains that I never once told the young man just how much he meant to me. I came to love him like my son, took him in as one of my own. But it's too late to tell him that now. I wasted all this time and never once told him just what he meant to me. Now I will have to live with that, live with his blood on my hands. And I know that I will when the day finally comes. Take that knowing to my grave.
However, for once the stains on my hands have become permanent, and somehow my faith in the goddess has shifted to a looser standing.
Well, maybe you should tighten it up. Yeah, fuck, what was that notification? Okay. Anyway, and for once this old man is not sure if he can hold back the pain and tears anymore.
The voice you're giving him kind of reminds me of the Sicilian in Princess Bride. Inconceivable!
What?
I tried. I don't know
how you're drawing that connection.
I don't know. Just the
Never mess with a Sicilian when death is on the line.
I don't know, just something the way you were saying it just kind of reminded me.
I don't remember him having a lisp.
He had a slight lisp. It wasn't like as
It was more of a like weird energetic pitch to his voice.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, my mind's weird. I can't even follow it most of the time. Naburu, the spirit sage, a warrior's torn heart.
Huh. Even though I don't have as much to say as that old man there. Thank fuck. I will say that even for a man.
I mean, that's in line with her character.
Does she have the whole misandry thing going with her?
A lot of the Gerudo tend to have that. Just kind of, like that was one of the things. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back.
Link, the hero of time, was different. I never had any trust in men, even after Ganondorf became king. It is implying that she thinks that him trying to take over the world was a good thing? What? What? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, at least I wasn't stale this time. Fuck. But even Link was different among most men. He changed the way I felt towards him. He was caring, passionate, and damn handsome. Things you don't bring up at someone's funeral. How good they looked. You know, it really is a shame that he died because he had a fantastic ass. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to keep on living without that ass in this world. Like I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. That ass kept me going through life. But now without it gone, I don't know what... Like, that ass was my only reason for living.
Pardon?
Okay, things you missed. One, her implying that the thing before Link that gave her the most trust in men was Ganondorf trying to take over Hyrule.
Mm-hmm.
And her saying her describing Link, saying that Link was caring, compassionate, and damn handsome. I'm sorry, but I think it's a bit of a faux pas to bring up how attractive someone was at their own funeral.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
I don't know if I'll be able to keep living without that ass in this world. I mean,
yeah.
Now that he's gone.
Okay.
Damn it. Oh, wait, sure. But it sure is way the hell too late to tell him that now. Which part? The last part?
Probably about his ass.
Why didn't I tell him how fine that ass was before? I don't know why, but I'm just thinking like a reverse situation of, fuck. Have you watched the latest episode of Hellsing Ultimate Abridged?
No, I have not yet. I want to.
So, Bip, you're finally inside me.
That makes me happy.
Anyway. Oh, God. Damn it. Why didn't I tell him sooner? Why didn't I compliment that ass? Why did I wait until now to bring it up?
Because I'm a stubborn fool, that's why. I keep blaming the lad for his own demise when instead I should have compassion for him, like he once did for me. But why
I should have catcalled him sooner.
Why do I still keep blaming this whole situation on him? It's because he left us behind so suddenly without any warning for selfish reasons. Wow, that was a quick answer.
I mean, he only has himself to blame. Did you see how he was dressed?
I still remember the way we found him that day, lying dead in the Temple of Time on the altar. The Master Sword pierced through his chest, pools of blood marring the floor. Okay, he did die like Brutus. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he was face up. So it was more like Nicolas Cage and what was it, Vampire's Kiss.
He was in a vampire movie?
Well, he thought he was a vampire.
Ah, okay.
Like in the end, like he's trying to kill himself. He's like laying on his back on the ground with like this massive jagged piece of wood trying to drive it into his own chest.
Oh, jeez.
I remember how long it took us to be able to move as we stood there in shocked disbelief that ass was no longer in this world.
It was still there. It was just dead.
And believe me, I may do many things, but I am not doing it. Why did we suddenly turn into why did we suddenly turn Naburu into like some frat bro? Like stereotypical frat bro. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of perfectly fine fraternity members out there. I'm not saying you're all still like this. I've met members of frats that are perfectly fine.
Yeah, I've got 2 cousins who are members of frats, but like the stereotypical frat bro, nah. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, I was working on my gains and I saw Link running past him. Ass. He makes those tights work.
But I said no homo in my head, so it's okay.
Well, no, it's Naburu. She wouldn't need to say no homo.
Oh, true. Yeah, okay. I thought you were actually talking as like a actual frat bro.
No. Just Naburu is apparently the Gerudo equivalent.
I mean, I'm actually okay with this.
Kappa Phi! Oh, God. Shit. Okay.
Then how long?
Looking down at his body lying there on the altar. And how long it took us to gain the strength and courage to move him and give him a proper burial. I couldn't take my eyes off his hands.
Now I stand here over his grave, looking down at the mighty sword, which now just lies on top of his tombstone. Its blade dank and dull, the light of justice.
Smoke weed every day.
Gone. I keep asking myself the same questions that I asked myself the day we found him. As a warrior of the utmost level of respect, why did he fail to abide by the very code that he swore to lead his life under?
Classy. Also, did they not clean the blade? It's still covered in blood. Is that why it's dank?
It's a magic sword. It'll be fine.
You should probably still at least wipe it off.
Yeah.
Why did he allow the simplest problem?
Oh, you just have to save the world. It's real simple.
Anguish. Oh yeah, it's just save the world, seeing a horrific timeline in which you marry a Mary Sue.
Having to face the king of evil himself and only managing to steal him away and not actually
I thought we were talking about Jenna with the king of evil.
Who?
I thought when you said the king of evil, we were still talking about Jenna Silverblade.
No, she's just...
Until it was too much for him to take. Then using an easy way. Oh my god!
Wow.
Naburu, stop.
Eh.
Then using an easy way out. I still have no answers for those lingering questions, but a warrior must be willing to take whatever fate hands to him and deal with it in whichever way he can and choke down the bitter ironies of life with a steel-forged soul.
Life sucks and then you die.
I'd like to bring out several warrior cultures in which you dying on your own term was seen as an honorable thing.
Mm-hmm.
Naburu, from a, if memory serves, warrior culture.
This is more Link Queen than Naburu. Just want to point that out because Naburu is actually really cool in game.
So it's Jenna that's suicide shaming. Got it.
Yes, she's just possessing all of them subconsciously. But whichever the reason was for him to end his life the way he did, the fact remains that he is gone, and now fate is going to continue to hand us our destinies with or without him. However, I will admit that I do miss him. He was one sweet man, one of a very few.
With a sweet ass!
But even though I thought of him as a warrior and a friend, why does it feel like my strong steel-forged warrior's heart is breaking when I'm supposed to be a strong, unbreakable warrior, able to overcome the loss of comrades? I don't know. How'd you get put into that suit of armor? Link it has to do this super hard like mini boss fight and break her out of this suit of like golem armor type thing. So yeah. I guess I will never know. All I can say is that for once, even if my heart was steel forged, it sure cannot hold back the pain anymore.
Imp of the Shadow Sage, Ashika's wise word.
From since I can remember, my place in the royal family was daring royal protector, supporter, and caretaker of Princess Zelda, as is the way of the Shikas. But for once, I believe that I have failed to uphold the codes that we strongly adhere to. To serve and protect.
Adhere to. Yes. We we adhere to it.
Yes, exactly. Because of my fears and concerns for safety, I neglected to notice that someone else was in need of my protection.
Never in my life had I failed that code. Never had I once neglected to offer someone in need my help.
Until now.
I had failed to prevent the end of the most prestigious, generous man who had ever lived. Link, the hero of time. For once in my life, another hand was needed to save my own, and I neglected to ever repay. Such
munificence
and devotion in the simplest manner Link needed. Love. It was by my own blind negligence that I failed to see Link's pain and suffering. But what am I supposed to do? I cannot change the past, nor can I bring back the once lively man I came to call friend.
I cannot help to question his reasons for ending it the way he did, even though life can sometimes deal an unfair hand. That doesn't always mean you need to find an easy way out. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god!
One must remain strong, steel themselves for the unknown, prepare themselves for the future. Oh no.
Woo! But Link failed to uphold that code, and the very one he swore to live by. Instead, he chose an easy path. One less traveled. Well, if it's the road less traveled, then it's not the paved road. Therefore, it's not the easy path, you dumb fuck. And when the road ended...
No. There has to be other reasons to why he did what he did. But as a wise sage... Yeah, wise sage.
Yeah, you're really showing it right now.
I cannot seem to find the answers that keep eluding me to this day. For one so wise never goes long without the answers. Or do they? I still have no explanation for Link's rashness, but the one thing that's apparent, Link, Hyrule's hero, is gone.
So far, the person out of all of them who has said the most has been Nabooru, and that was bringing up the fact that apparently Link was damn handsome. Just think about that for a second. All these people going on long-winded speeches and saying absolutely goddamn nothing.
Munificence is an actual word, by the way. It means
I kind of guessed.
Yeah. I was looking it up because I didn't know if it was an actual or not.
The consequences were higher than the risk, and now I'm standing here with the other sages as well as all of Hyrule's remaining population. Mourning, oh shit, is it sunrise already? The loss of our fallen warrior. Even as I stand here over his place of rest, I cannot help but contemplate the effects of such a passing has had on my understanding of the world. I now feel that fate has held a whole new meaning in my life. It's something that cannot be taken lightly. It must be treated as something that guides you through life, something that has forged your destiny from birth.
Oh, it gets worse. But Link never understood that. It seemed to be too much for him to comprehend. Or maybe it was a reality he didn't want to accept. Well, no, if it was a reality where I married Silverblade, I wouldn't want to accept it either. Maybe we forced him to take flight too soon on his newfound wings after he was awakened from his suspended 7-year sleep, or perhaps he felt the entire weight of a world was thrust upon his shoulders when he believed he could not carry such a burden alone.
Whatever the reason he chose to do what he did, I cannot help but feel cheated.
Because I'm all that matters. This.
So
I didn't think there was anything I could hate more than my inner life.
I just wish the lad had told us of his pain and suffering. I wish he had asked for my help. I could have taught him so much more, including the notion that even the paths we lay for ourselves may still be diverted into yet another direction.
But I waited too long to tell the lad that. Too late to tell him that he was someone I came to call friend and to show my appreciation for his hand in saving my life. I will have to live with that knowledge for the rest of my days.
Oh shit, someone spilled water on Impa, she's skipping.
Deal with the fact that
of my.
Bam! I just hit it and it works better. Deal with the fact that it's his blood on my hands now.
However, in the light of my blatantness, I will miss the lad. I will miss those gentle and wise words he always spoke. Miss the welcoming company he always made. For me, specifically.
Ah, yes, Link's words of wisdom.
Well, excuse me, princess.
That one doesn't count and you know it.
Yes, it does.
Then when I gave that example of the fairy from that show, you should have counted it in my inner life. But no, you didn't count it then. So
Wait, what example of a fairy? What? For how Navi looked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is all gone now. All that is left is the brilliant young man. A young man whom we came to know and love, that has left this world and left us with only unanswered questions. And now it seems to me that for once in so long, the torrential winds have claimed victory once more.
Word of the water sage, tears of a mateless queen.
What are you devolving into?
I don't know. Possibly Mr. Plinkett from Red Letter Media. This movie is really bad.
It's not even a movie, and it's bad.
It's that bad.
Oh, by the goddesses, I still cannot believe it. That nightmare has not ended, even as I stand here over the man I had once chosen to be my husband. Yeah, he didn't have a choice in the matter.
Also, you becoming the water sage, if memory serves, kind of voided that whole thing.
Yeah. Now lies here atop this damn mountain, 6 feet down under mounds of dirt. And what do I think of all this? I'll tell you what. Anger, disgust, loneliness, and trepidation. Ever since the day we found him dead in the Temple of Time, stabbed in the chest with that damn bloody sword, I've never been able to forgive him for leaving me so sudden and so alone. Because I'm the only one that matters.
Now I'm the queen taking on the responsibilities of my people alone, sitting here on the throne with no partner, no one to be by my side, no one to help me bear the next heir to the throne. For that, how can I forgive him? How can I just push aside the fact that I have lost everything that Link and I ever shared because of his selfish acts? How?
No, I will not. Why should I have to suffer this emotional suffer the emotional blows of his death because he chose to take the coward's way out?
I'm going to strangle this woman.
Why should I be forced to bear the responsibilities and
I'm not talking about Rudo. I'm talking about the author.
Of a fool who had so blindly lost his way.
Oh, Jenna, you better hope that me and I, you and I never meet in a dark alley. Because they will never be able to find half the pieces of your body.
And you're shovel kind, so you can dig a deep hole.
No, I cannot be burdened with that kind of weight dragging on my shoulders when I have the duties as queen of the Zoras to perform. But how can I
But I still cannot help even now forgetting the man I once loved. Even in my dreams, I still see him, those twinkling blue eyes, his soft, silky blonde hair, that perfect body. He's such a perfect body. Oh God, this is how he made his body.
I will never forget the first day I met him. So young, his cute blue eyes filled with concern for me as we stood there inside the bowels of Jabu Jabu's belly. Oh, romantic. Then that daring rescue against Baronade. Oh, yes, the water temple is a thing. I still have PTSD from that. I remember how he stood strong, fought hard, and overcame the beast that threatened me. Then we were transported back to Lake Hylia to rejoice after his prestigious victory.
Wait, did they actually teleport in-game, or was it just that it cut to the next scene?
No, they teleported in-game.
Okay. I was going to say, it would be really funny if she just misinterpreted them cutting out, like, you having to walk back out of the area.
Yeah, no, they teleport into the spectral realm where all the sages stay. You talk to her, you get teleported outside of the dungeon, so you don't have to go through that madness again. That was the one good thing about it.
That's less funny. I would have really laughed if it was just that they cut out the part of you walking out.
That would have been funny.
It was at that point that he asked for the Zora's Sapphire, and I knew at that very moment that I found my life mate. Found the one I was destined to marry.
He was a kid undertaking a quest given to him by an owl.
Well, when you say it like that, it just sounds stupid.
But it's true, though. No. By a tree. A little boy given a quest by a tree.
Mr. Owl.
Would you like me to repeat that? Ever since that fateful day, I have kept my promise, stayed faithful, and waited for him to fulfill his promise to me and take his place at my side as my king. But in the end, he failed to do so, even after the time he left me alone for those 7 long years.
I thought the day I saw him inside the water temple, those blue eyes sparkling against the clear water filled the temple. He had finally come to fulfill his promise to me, to fulfill the vows we made to each other years before.
I was wrong.
I don't think it was mutual. I'm sorry. He's just not that into you.
I was wrong. That's my line. It's your line again.
Yes. I know that I was wrong was your line.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know.
I was just commenting on the vows we made.
Yeah, true.
Evidently, Link failed to meet the standards, and in doing so, he failed me. Now, because of that, my people are left with a stricken queen who has no king by her side. Because, as we all know, a queen only has merit if she's getting fucked. It's because of that I still scorn Link's rash decision. Yes, how dare you kill yourself? Why did you not think about how this affected me? Even to this day, one can see I can't think. Even in my mind, I stumble over the reason for Link's undoing. Again, I'm telling you, he merely saw the timeline in which he was married to Jinna Silverblade and couldn't comprehend the horrors that awaited him.
So he made the smart decision.
It's kind of like if you try to hold a staring contest with Cthulhu. You'll just go mad.
I tried that once.
But whatever the reason was, it can't be my fault. No, it never will be. You hear me? It's not my fault.
Because of all that has happened to me, no. All of us now are left here with the threat of Ganondorf's constant thrust for servitude. The wrath that monster has
thrust for servitude.
This now dank land with still remains very real. I now live in fear every day of my life for my own safety and the safety of my people.
I'm sorry, but can we go back to Ganondorf's constant thrusting?
I mean, we can.
Go.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Even in the lingering fear welling up inside me that one day, Ganondorf might still succeed in killing us all.
Going to destroy us all! Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
And with nothing to stop him in his will.
What? What?
I don't know. Just keep reading. I want to get this
land. This land turns more malevolent and wicked each passing day under Ganondorf's control, with no one strong enough to stand up to the towering odds that lie before us.
I fear that the darkness will finally prevail. I hate it when the lanterners.
Yeah, no, it's like they get a pink hat and there are fairies all over the place.
Oh, God.
But even as I stand here, the threat of Ganondorf crashing down on me at any time, I cannot help but feel miserable as I look over the tombstone we finally laid for our fallen hero, my fallen lover. I may still have feelings of anger and abandonment towards the once perfect man I came to love, but now all I can feel is selfishness and resentment for the things I never told him before he so abruptly ended his life.
I'm sorry, I'm not the only one that got the mental image of Ganon collapsing the floor he was on and falling through it on Naruto.
Yeah, I just imagine him doing that. Then you hear the womp from Mario. Oh,
good.
I will miss those eyes and perfect body.
Now I'm just imagining Ruto and Nabu just working at a construction site, whistling and saying like comments whenever Link walks past.
Yeah, I can see it.
Hey, baby, nice ass! What?
I waited for so long to feel that lean, muscular body naked against mine. And look deeply into those deep blue pools of eyes.
He has several.
Ah, yes, the pool of eyes, my favorite Lovecraftian creation.
I thought that was just like what I ended up doing with the swimming pool that one time.
Oh, that was you?
That was my swimming pool.
That was your swimming pool? Okay, that explains a lot, actually.
Those blue pools of eyes that always shone with loving glances. But that's all just a fingering fantasy now.
Lingering. But I'm assuming you purposefully said.
Yes.
Okay. All I can admit to is that he really is gone. That I've never got the chance to tell him just how much I loved him and what he meant to me. Because he died, never knowing my true feelings for him. I'm pretty sure he did. But even though he has gone so far away, too distant to touch anymore, I will always love him until the end of time.
Too distant to touch. Link is free now. Go! Be free!
Fly and be free.
Fly, you fools!
Fly, you fools.
His soul had finally gotten the release from all the pain it had fought so hard to get away from.
Even though he's not with us anymore, I pray that Link has finally found the eternal peace he desperately.
Durnia, the fire sage, cries of a blood brother.
I always believed myself to be a strong, solid warrior. Just like the mountains that fight through the blinding torrential storms that wreak havoc on them so often. We, the Gorons, have always held up to the standards of being the ones with rock solid fighting skills. Fearless hearts.
And eating rocks, don't forget. Forged from stone, we were always steeled for warfare and trained to have iron-cold hearts. We are known as the unveiling few, the dependable and determined destroyers forged from a strict code that we so strongly adhere to. But
I'm sorry, but this still just makes the idea of him weeping hilarious.
But when you block off our cave that has the tasty stones, we decide that it's better to starve than eat the boring rocks that would actually provide us with sustenance.
I'm sorry. If you ran out of vegetables you typically eat, would you just start eating the grass? No, that's what I thought, bitch.
No, but the way they describe it in the game is they can eat the stones that are outside of the cave. They just don't.
And you can technically eat grass.
I don't know. It's just...
Seeing the point here, it's like if you run out of meat and decide, oh, I'm just going to eat this live mouse.
I mean, protein.
You're
you're probably not going to stoop that low.
Probably not.
After I witnessed Brother Link in the prime of his youth fighting hard against the towering odds waged against him inside the Dodongo cavern, and his admirable defeat of the vicious dragon beast that threatened our very lives, I always thought of him as one of us.
Or so I thought.
I swear, it's just making everyone sound bipolar.
Yeah. I mean...
Now I'm forced to question the very heart that I thought was as strong as my own. They could always seem to be one of great stature, one of great one wise in his own way, but standing over the very spot, pleasing our rest. I can't wonder. Really was a quick frail metal. No, so fuck you.
Was his steel-forged warrior's heart really that weak? Did he really despise the very destiny the legendary goddesses bestowed him with?
No, he despised the destiny that Link's queen bestowed him with.
These are the nagging questions I still have no answers to, which are guys. This is just like depressing just reading over this.
But it's not done in a way that's any good.
No, I am literally getting depressed and angry just reading this, just because it's no matter what you write will reflect what you believe. And if this is just
this whole thing is I will be the first to admit that I bawled like a little bitch boy at the end of The Fault in Our Stars, the book. Because that book made me absolutely care about this pretentious dude. Holy shit!
Never read it, but I've heard it's very well written.
Oh yeah, it was a whole thing, tears streaming down my face. And I will say that has to be one of the best, fucking Blinkiniamistic gags in Ant-Man and Wasp. Because the whole thing is he's under house. The whole thing is he's under house arrest for the events in Civil War.
Okay.
And so at one point he's one of the things he's doing to entertain himself is he's sitting in bed reading The Fault in Our Stars and weeping.
That's great.
It's oh shit, I've been there. I've been there. Shit.
Let's hurry up and finish this terrible.
Yeah. Shit, where were we?
But I still
cannot help but resent my whole thing. Not being aware of suffering so that I can litigate again. You didn't trust me enough to you trust and confidentiality is what brotherhood is all about. Oh shit!
I'm pretty sure it's about standing around and talking about what's on TV and the sports and all of that. That's brotherhood right there. I'm gonna stop.
I don't know. For me, brotherhood is just not killing each other. Usually.
Yeah, that's a good way to. That's a good way to look at it. Honestly, now I feel cheated, taken advantage of, as if my concern, trust, and love wasn't enough for him to confide in me. Pain that was wrenching his slowly weakening heart. Now my whole being is rattling under the immense confusion on the drastic reasons for his undoing.
Here I stand, unable to move again, as I did the day we found him, frozen in time like the unmoving mountains, tears slowly streaming down my face. I looked over the dreary tombstone that now lies over the shallow grave where our once marvelous, brilliant young heroes now rested peacefully, his soul joining the heavens above.
Even though the once tortured soul of our beloved hero of time has now moved on to a better place, I cannot help but wish with all my power that I could reverse time, change what has happened, and prevent this whole occurrence from ever becoming. That never works. That never works. When the mama sang us to sleep, now we're so stressed. I don't remember.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, 21 Pilots is the alright band. I mean, they're definitely a lot better than Imagine Dragons.
Oh God, yes.
Soulless corporate engine.
uh,
Oh, God. Anyway.
Starting to sound radioactive, man.
Fuck off.
Now he's radioactive. That can't be good. I regret, even aboard the fact that I was so blind to his pain that I pushed aside the glaring truth, pretending that everything was okay. Now I get to stand here over his damn grave with the grievances that I never told him exactly how I felt. I also loved him. He had an amazing body.
I raised my head skyward and looked towards the heavens to see if Link is really up there, happy that he is free of this malevolent, miserable world, happy that he is now free of the overweighing duties that forced him to take fight too soon on his newfound wings.
I'm just flashing back to that one picture of a bird someone did, but like when they drew it, they replaced the wings with like 3 pairs of muscular arms. So it just like flapped by flex. It just flew by flexing.
That's amazing.
Look it up if you get the chance. It's an amazing picture.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
Take flight! When I asked this question, was death what he really wanted? Did he really want to leave this world in blood and dishonor instead of in honor and glory? And why was the act committed in the Temple of Time? Isn't that a sacred place of holiness and worship? Is that not the place where he became a man and gained his newfound wings that he fought with? Again, these are the questions I have no answers for.
But one thing is apparent: the hero is gone. I think I've finally come to the fate hands you your own destiny from birth. It's those paths you must travel with a strong will or succumb to the effects of defeat. Wow, that's a very fatalistic view. Only that is the one thing Link loved, his own destiny. He wanted to lay out his own path, make all the choices, but he never understood that sometimes there are things that are just beyond your control.
Cuckoos, even if it meant the death of him. I'm in control, not you, world. Oh shit!
As a result of our own stubborn ignorance and high morals, we are now living under the rule of an evil tyrant who is hell-bent on total annihilation of this once marvelous and beautiful land. Also, never bring up hellbent because I am now thinking of a song much better than this fic.
What song?
And animation too. Hellbent by Mystery Skull.
Okay, we were thinking of a different one. I think I was thinking of a Breaking Benjamin song.
No, and Mystery Ben also, I think the third Mystery Skulls animation he did was Hellbent.
Okay.
Yeah. Been Hellbent, baby. Anyway. Okay.
Is it my line now, or?
No, hellbent on the total annihilation of this once wonderful and beautiful land, and quite possibly the entire world. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I'm skipping this line.
Or maybe I'm just hoping for the impossible. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, or maybe I'm just hoping for the impossible. There we go.
Whichever the reasons for Link's undoing, one thing is clear. It had something to do with Jenna Silverblade. Life will never be the same without him. He's going to fucking reincarnate, you tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's what he does.
He will truly be missed no matter how we may feel about his reasons for taking his own life.
Maybe he was just expediting the process.
As I stare at the slowly graying sky of despair for one last time, crystal white tears staining my face.
I think you might want to get that looked at by a doctor.
I just hope Link can still hear me as his spirit dances among the twinkling stars of the heavens.
Unless the fucking... whatever the fuck they're called, I just forgot. Goro. Unless the fucking Goro cry milk.
I mean, it's possible.
Ew.
They eat rocks.
Why would they cry milk?
I don't know. Why would they eat rocks?
Link, my brother, my hero, the warrior. Link, my brother, the warrior, the hero, the warrior, and friend. Your memory will not go undignified, and you will not be forgotten.
Were you trying to do Zoidberg there? Because that's kind
That
of...
weirdly sounded kind of like Zoidberg.
Yes, it did.
What about Zoidberg?
Sorry of the forest sage, sorrow of a broken friendship.
What about Zoidberg? Shit. He's like, what about Zoidberg?
Why not Zoidberg? No, that was weird. No, stop it, Wiley.
I cannot believe that this is really happening. I just keep hoping that this is all nightmares. And that I will wake up soon and it will all be over. But this is no nightmare. It's very real. In fact, very real. And the fact very real that Link, my closest friend, has passed on. As a child of the forest, I never thought that one of my own people, yes, I considered Link one of us. One of us could take his life in such cold blood. What was it, winter outside?
Possibly. I remember the day he was brought to the Kokiri Forest by a battered and dying young women, beaten by the tragic war that had befallen Hyrule. She came staggering into the woods, bloody and haggard, carrying a crying infant in her tainted arms.
What?
She sought the great Deku Tree and asked asylum for her infant son.
For a second, I thought you said that she shot the great Deku Tree.
Well, how do you think he died? And it was soon after the great Deku Tree took the baby under his wing that the women died. That the women died with the knowledge he was truly safe.
All of them. He was raised by one of us as a Kokiri, a child of the forest, led by the divine wisdom of the great Deku Tree. I remember watching him as he grew, aged when all his friends around him didn't, watched and supported him when he was made fun of for not having a fairy protector. I swear this is just turning into a demo reel for me.
A little bit. It was during those times we became close, our friendship bonded by trust and love. He was so vibrant and full of life. He was the happiest person alive, glad to have a friend like me. He ain't never had a friend like me. And I thought it was...
Okay, then.
And I thought it was through that friendship we would never hide anything from each other.
Or so it seemed.
Now I'm standing here on top of a mountain looking down on the grave where my...
It's amazing how they all bring up the fact they're on top of a mountain looking at his grave. It's not like that would get really annoying and boring as the speeches went on.
Where my once closest and dearest friend lies. My mind now wading through bonded friendship to talk to me about his pain and suffering. Why he never had faith in me that I might have lent him my guiding hand in words of wisdom. That's very controlling and unhealthy. But
yeah.
I get the sentiment, but like...
Did he ever even think of asking me how I would feel about his contemplation of suicide?
Okay, going back to hating this. Ugh.
Did he ever consider what kind of impact such a disturbing and selfish decision would have on the people who love him? I don't see how.
I remember the day the seven of us found him in the Temple of Time. His body was like a decaying statue lying upon the altar of the Master Sword as it sat pierced through his chest.
Across the room, into the opposite wall.
The surrounding area being tainted with his dried blood. Oh! Dark Link, that's it.
Wait, what?
Dark Link killed him. He threw the sword into him and made it look like suicide.
How do you make that look like... How would that look like a suicide?
I don't know. How does someone come up with a fan fiction like this?
Well, I don't know. I haven't read the fan fictions that this person is aping, so maybe they did it all right. Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, just keep reading. I want to be done with this.
Where were we? Oh yeah. My first thought was to scream and run. I thought it was all some kind of sick joke, but I couldn't move. It's me, Baldy. It was as if some unseen force was holding me back, my eyes transfixed on the pale and still corpse lying before me.
I just stood there for what seemed like an eternity, my eyes stinging from the salty crystal white tears that ran in streams down my face.
Why are their tears white?
I don't know, but it sounds like they should look at a doctor. We all just
look at a doctor?
Yes.
Not get looked at by a doctor, look at a doctor.
Yes,
hey, Doc, you mind if I stare at you for a few seconds?
I'm feeling sick. I'm going to stare at you and feel better just by proximity. We all just remained there, frozen in time like petrified rock, until the 7 of us worked up enough nerve to gain the courage and move him, to finally put him to rest where we all now stand.
As opposed to what kind of rock? Rock is kind of, by definition, petrified. Oh, fuck. Petrified literally has the prefix petro, which means rock.
I don't know.
Now here I am, my eyes welling up with unhindered tears. I cannot help but blame myself for his abrupt parting from this world. I question myself if there was more I could have done. Scorn myself for not seeing the warning signs of him going suicidal. I almost thought that said him going suicide.
We're running suicide.
And resent myself for remaining ignorant about it, instead of taking any action to prevent it. I could have quite possibly saved his life. Possibly have prevented this whole horrific event from ever happening.
But did I stop it? Did I do anything?
No, I didn't.
It was because of my own conceited selfish morals and honor-stricken duty as the sage of the forest that I failed to notice Link's pain and suffering. It's now because of that blinded ignorance that I'm paying for it with the loss of someone so dear to me. Here's an idea. How about you all kill yourselves and do a blood ritual to kill him? Then you could be with him, and everyone's problems will be fixed.
Well, no, you see, Link reincarnates. They don't.
Yeah. Everyone's problems will be fixed.
They'd only be with him until he went into a new body.
True.
They'd be without him again.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Hey.
Did you say dear to me? Yep.
Yes.
I have seen far too much in my days, and the weight of a near century's amount of stinging memories have finally begun to unveil themselves in full force as I gaze upon the grave of my fallen friend. I can no longer be sure of anything anymore. Are my hands actually there? I don't know. Ganondorf's, oh hey, you spelt it right this time. Wake has made it so... Did he die?
Maybe.
Ganondorf's wake has made it so that this world is plagued with such chaotic twists of fate and sudden change that I cannot follow fate's trail anymore.
I now believe that destiny has changed my whole outlook on life. Actually, I cannot be certain if I believe in it anymore. I still question myself that if I follow destiny, am I slowly destined to head down the same path as Link? Is fate so terrible, so cruel that it would eventually lead me astray? Can't be sure anymore, but I think that Link finally came to a realization that fate was dealing him an unfair hand.
No, it was just the writers were.
Yeah.
He soon discovered that a road laid out does not necessarily require a traveler, and that building your own path is sometimes a choice you must debate whether or not to take. But I cannot help but think that if he only gave me the chance, I could have helped him to even paths we lay out. I could have taught him that even paths we lay out for ourselves may still be diverted into other directions. It's weird. It's almost as if this exact same line has been said before, almost word for word.
But it's too late to tell him that now, and that's my fault. I have wasted too much time neglecting to tell him all the things I ever wanted to say. Now I stand here holding the fairy ocarina, the very one I gave him, a token of our friendship just before he left for us on his quest, close to my saddened heart.
I see. This whole memory is causing me to cry mentally.
Not physically, mentally.
My brain is full of tears, wringing my mind of all the doubts and fears that have been threatening to crash down on me. Like the ones that came in a rush at my first glimpse of Link's body. His sweet, sweet body. And the one that came when I finally realized he was gone. But there is nothing I can do about it now.
All I can do now is hold on to his precious memory and try to remember all the good times Link and I shared. He was a true friend, one that will never be forgotten.
And I truly believe that one day I will be dancing among the stars with him. Again, he reincarnates. He won't be up there as long as you.
Princess Zelda, the seventh sage, Tears of a Rose.
Comrade!
Yes, let's bring it back.
Light, dark,
These two essences of eternal life have been feuding for total domination since the beginning of time, comrade. Each and every one of us either follows the path of light or the path of darkness. To become a stray, one can so easily do. Shit, that one actually works really great for the Russian accent.
Yes, it does.
One can so easily do. Succumbing to the influences of temptation or false hopes, can someone be diverted down the path of irreversible paths of darkness? Like that time I ran away from Baba Yaga.
I have always been the one to walk in the light, and I've always been the one to fight the encroaching darkness so that good would prevail. But I never thought that one of our own could be so easily deterred to choose such a despairing path. With these results, I have finally come to believe that is what happened to Link.
I'm not gonna lie, given how everyone's been suicide shaming, I'm half expecting her to call Link like Asuka. When I first met him as a young princess in the palace garden, a small blue biat floating around his head, I saw a small glimmer of hope I had seen so many times in my haunted dreams, comrade. It was then I had come to the realization that all my prayers had finally been answered. Fuck. The hero, the child of destiny, had finally come to his place as the hero of time.
We fought long and hard together, side by side, as he quested to spiritual stones. Then Ganondorf came, and Imp and I fled the castle in fear for our lives as we rode by the Suka. I saw Link standing there with eyes wide open. But I took my chances and entrusted the sacred ocarina to him just before we rode away, never really knowing that leaving the key with Link would give Ganondorf the way into the sacred realm.
When Link entered Temple of Time and pulled the sacred Master Sword from Pedestal of Time, his entire body was trapped inside the sacred realm and thus started the 7 years of darkness.
They misspelled sacred and spelled scared Master Sword. Scared Master Sword. Ah!
Pulled scared Master Sword.
I begun to believe all hope was lost until that day many years later. All my hopes were rekindled when boy I met so long ago returned to Hyrule as full-grown handsome young man, sacred legendary Master Sword. Dressed in Chica's garb, I followed the newly derived hero of time as he journeyed to each of the 5 temples and freed each of the trapped sages that were held captive within them.
I don't know why I suddenly imagined her instead saying, Comrade of Time.
That's my new title. I'm the Comrade of Time.
Comrade of Time. Come, comrade. We must fix timeline.
Not again.
When Link finally came close to completing Destiny, his life must have took a drastic turn for worse. He ran out of borscht.
And vodka.
In all my days as comrade of Hyrule, never had I thought I'd see the day when Hyrule's chosen comrade would finally succumb to the evils of darkness and falter from the light.
Now I stand here over a grave on top of a mountain, my face stained with welling tears as I look at the place where the comrade that once walked in light now lies buried.
Ever since that dark day... Fuck. Day... Ever since dark day when we found him lying dead in Temple of Time, pierced through the heart by the very sword he wielded, I have come to the conclusion that Link was finally conquered by very evils he fought so hard to defeat. Fuck!
Turned kind of Scottish at the end there. I'm having the same. I'm having kind of the same struggle there for some reason.
It's been so long since we've had to do Russian.
As time slowly trickles by, I cannot help but question what caused him to be led astray, the Suka, by very darkness he so deeply despised. Maybe it was the brimming fact that he thought the light was no longer fulfilling a satisfactory life for him. Or maybe he thought that life he was leading was slowly pulling him down path of misery. These are nagging questions that have been haunting me ever since the day we finally came to realization that Link was truly gone.
Now it's time like this where oh shit. Sort of turning Jamaican.
I guess I don't know.
Oh shit. Now it's time like this where I feel truly alone. Fuck. I feel treated, feel wronged. Shit.
Just if you're having trouble, just read it.
I feel as if Link never trusted any of us, not for him to speak to us of his pain and misery.
Now you're Scottish. Scottish.
Whoops. And it is in this knowledge that we have lost one of the greatest men who have ever lived, William Wallace. As I stand here looking down over his dank grave, smoke weed every day. The once mighty blade of justice, with its light gone now lying on top of his tombstone. I cannot help but cry. Even as stern as I may have been, I do truly miss him. If you could change your fate...
If you had the chance to change your fate, would you?
Would you?
He was someone I had come to call comrade. And even as much as it pains me to say this, I actually had feelings for him, and reluctantly never told him of how I felt. Ever since the day I started following him disguised as Sheik, I slowly started to realize that the feelings I had for him as friend soon turned into something more, into feelings of comrade. The feelings slowly turned into ones of lust and a yearning to heaven as my own. Jeez, that escalated quickly.
Also, can we talk about the fact that apparently Zelda has been stalking Link?
Well, I mean, she kind of did. I mean, she kind of did.
I don't know why. There is just something that draws me to him.
There we go.
But it's now too late for that. Oh, fuck. Too damn late to tell him how I felt about him, Masuka.
Shit. Fuck. Going back to Scottish.
Yep.
Maybe if I hadn't been so negligent in telling him of the way I felt, I might have chosen against the crazy notion of suicide. I feel as if this entire situation is all my fault. Blame myself for allowing Link to falter to the darkness as he felt that no one truly loved him in the way he needed.
Now I've lost someone very special to me because of my own damn selfishness and duties. I just wish now that there was something I could do to change the past, but I cannot.
If you could change your fate...
If you could change your fate, comrade, would you?
Come on, don't be Suka.
Do not be Suka. Change fate with me.
Yeah. All I can do is accept the fact that the once gentle, vibrant, compassionate man I came to love is all but a distant memory. But the one thing I swear by me very life is as long as I live, his memory shall live in our hearts, and he will always have a special place in Maine.
And for as long as Hyrule remains standing, Link, the hero of time, will not be forgotten. I raise my flask to you, comrade.
You just have like, fuck, what was it? One song like, just have like one like the fucking USSR like national anthem playing in the background
with the communist flag flying in the background.
It's just a hammer and sickle like.
Oh man, we've still got more to go. Come on, let's hurry and...
Fine. Final goodbyes.
Rauru, our hero. Nabruo, our friend. Impa, our warrior. Rudo, my love. Darina, my brother. Saria, my family. Zelda, our treasure.
Our comrade. Even though you took your own life by your own hands, you will always be missed, no matter how we may feel about it. You were a hero, a warrior, a brother, and a friend, and for that you will always remain a part of this land and of your hearts. Link, you were the hero of time, a man who once took on the burdens of destiny and nearly saved this now chaotic land from the darkness you swore to vanquish. And for that, Link, your memory will never be forgotten.
Neither will your memory of cowardice either. You.
Oh God!
Like, that is really what I'm hearing here. It's like, yeah, they're sad, but they're a
Stop calling him a fucking coward for killing himself.
Yeah, I know. There is an undertone of mocking here, and it's terrible. Sorry, I never told you.
It's that whole thing that has to do with like people's view of suicides in general. It's like, oh, if you're a coward if you aren't going to do it, but you're also a coward if you do it. And it's like, fucking hell.
Well, screw you. I'll kill you instead.
No, kill us both. Stand next to them with gun to head. Head right against theirs.
Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say, and now it's too late to hold you because you've flown away so far away. Never.
Oh my God!
Living without your smile, feeling and knowing you hear me. Fucking. This is Draco Malfoy holding the boombox outside of Inobi's
Mariah
window.
Carey lyrics.
It is Mariah Carey lyrics. That's what the song was for. So
Oh my God!
keep reading.
And I know you're shining down on me from heaven, like so many friends we lost along the way. And I know we'll eventually will be together one sweet day. We'll be sure to see you in heaven.
Darling, I never showed you, assumed you'd always be there, took your presence for granted, but I always cared, and I miss the love we shared.
And I know you're shining down on me from heaven. And I, like so many friends we've lost along the way, and I know eventually we'll be together. One sweet day, I will be sure to see you in heaven.
Although the sun will never shine the same again, I'll always look for the day. Lord, I know when I lay me down to sleep, you will always listen as I pray. Okay,
Why do I keep getting the chorus?
I don't know. Keep
And I know
reading.
you're shining down on me from heaven, man. Like so many friends we lost along the way, and I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day. And I will be sure to see you in heaven.
Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say.
Twist of fate.
The Temple of Time sat shrouded in darkness, rain pummeling the roof as the dreariness of the day saddened events lay heavily on the 7 people who had gathered inside to see the horrific sight that lies before them. One could not believe that their eyes were telling them there on the altar of the pedestal of time lies the fallen warrior. Link, the hero of time, pierced through the chest by his own sword, the master sword. It's not his sword, it is a sword.
Yeah, it's one wielded by typically Link, the hero of time.
Yeah, well, if anything, Link belongs to the sword.
Just thought about something.
Is he called Link because through all his reincarnations, all of those bodies he has are linked?
Yes, that's exactly why they named him Link.
Is that really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I swear there's going to be that one person like listening like, oh shit, wait, what? How did I not realize that?
Yeah.
All 7 sages just stand there, petrified, unable to move. The sight just drastically frightening. The sight just too drastic. Oh,
yeah, that misspelling there.
Too drastically frightening to believe. Pools of dry blood staining the floor from the marred, stained tunic of the once vibrant and brilliant young man everyone came to know and love. And it seems that from the way he died, it was by his own hand.
But one question why he did it. Wasn't he happy? He had a beautiful wife and a lovely home. Life seemed blissful for the young man, or so it seemed. Maybe all of this was over the drastic loss of his son, Link II.
Oh.
Ever since the day his son was captured by Ganondorf, tortured, then killed after his refusal to help him kill his own father, Link was never really the same. Slowly,
a true hero.
Slowly, he started.
Ganondorf.
Slowly, he started getting depressed, and he seemed to grow distant from everyone. Soon, he and his wife Jenna were always fighting. They were always bickering over the smallest things, and it seemed that over time, their love for each other slowly started dying, causing their marriage to start splitting in two. So it is a continuation.
I misread the situation.
It is in continuation. So, our Zelda voice was accurate.
Oh. Oh, is there trouble in paradise? Link just seemed to grow more distant as the time flies by. His reasoning on why he was so helpless on saving his son just caused him to fall into a deep, deep depression. With the pain over the loss of his son and his slowly dying marriage, he finally came to the conclusion that the only way to release his pain was to end his own life. Now, the once lively, vibrant young man who became a warrior of justice is now just a frozen, motionless, hapless body. A pale shadow of his former self. And now what is to become of him?
The sages are too petrified sight to even move, frozen in time, struggling to work up the courage and strength to move him when suddenly a figure dressed in a light silk pink dress rushes through the crowding sages.
What is she, a fucking bowling ball and they're the motherfucking pins?
Probably, knocking him over before stopping dead, paralyzed at the sight that befalls her. Jenna, Link's wife, walks forward, frightened and horrified at the sight that lay ahead of her. Link, her husband, lying dead on the table.
Oh, this is delicious. Dashing forward, she crashes on the floor next to him, crying hysterically as she desperately shakes him, screaming for him to wake up. Oh my goddesses, no. Wake up, Link, please get up. Oh my goddess. You cannot be dead. You just cannot be. The woman screams as she continues to shake his lifeless body. Her once pink dress now tainted and marred with his drying blood. Tears streaming down her face as her tainted hands run swiftly up to the once vibrant sword impaled through his chest, swiftly pulling it out and throwing it aside.
I think you're enjoying this a little too much, but I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, no.
As the woman tries in vain to awaken her dead husband, the sages desperately try to call her back, knowing that she is confused and in too much shock to grasp the reality that the man she loves is now gone. Jenna just ignores their pleas and continues her desperate attempt to awaken him as she cradles his still body in her blood-stained arms.
I'm sorry, but you pulled a sword out of his chest, sweetheart. He isn't going to get back up from that. But it soon became apparent to her that he is not going to wake up. So she slowly lowers her hand the pouch that lies at her waist and pulls out a small vial. Popping the cork, Jenna slowly lifts it to her lips, intent on joining her husband as she sings a final song, as we just ignore the ramifications of her constantly keeping a bottle of poison on her at all times.
Well, we established in my inner life that she was Llytic, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what words I can say. The wind has a way to talk to me.
Flowers sleep, a silent lullaby. Pray for a reply. I'm ready.
Quiet day calms me. Oh, serenity. Someone please tell me. Oh, what is it they say? Maybe I will know one day.
I don't know. What words can I say? The wind has a way to
So, should I read the author's note at the end there, or should we just...
Yeah.
What do you think?
The author.
What do you think? Yay? Nay? Tell me what you thought. All reviews are accepted, whether they be good or bad. Even though I believe this one... Even though I believe this one to be one of my best, suicide fics are just not me. So to all who like this and ask me to write more, I have to regretfully say that I will not be doing any more suicide fics.
Can they just be suicide fics of your original characters?
Or you can draw horrific scenarios in which he dies horribly.
I love it.
This type of fic was just a test of my writing abilities. But hey, check out my other 6 stories. My Inner Life? No. Rudo's Song, Butterfly, Banishment, Childhood Lost, and The Mother Goddess. But again...
we'll get to those.
But again, thanks for reading this story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Ciao. Ugh.
Ciao, indeed.
Ugh. I'm gonna go grow up now.
While I may not have been a fan of the beginning, that end is a complete 5 out of 5.
Now, if you'll excuse us, Llytic is going to go lose No Nut November.
You act as though I was participating in the